Well, hello everybody. We're back and we survived 5 days.
7 days.
7
days today.
7 days.
I kept notes because I wanted to make sure that we were able to. I'm not that bad. I'm the easy one. Remember that. Gosh, for only being a week, it seems like tons of stuff has happened, which is crazy considering we really haven't left.
No.
But a lot happens in one house over time.
Or one road.
Yeah, this road has been incredible. So we're going to tell you a little bit about that. So a week ago on Saturday, we got in from town right around 3:30 and it just started snowing.
Yeah.
And they kept saying it was going to kind of be a storm.
Yeah, but we're from Michigan, the UP of Michigan, by Lake Superior. So when people say a snowstorm, I didn't expect this kind of stuff.
But we did decide, like, okay, this evening we went, that evening we went and visited some neighbors.
Yeah, that was
Had a nice evening with them.
Really nice.
Walked back, what was it, 11 o'clock or so?
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, this storm is real.
Yeah. I took a picture of the cottage and I was like, oh, wow, it's actually snow like Michigan.
He keeps saying, like, oh, this is going to be my Christmas card.
Yeah, it is going to be on my Christmas. It's going to be. Prepare yourself. I'm making a nice Christmas card.
And then,
Not that I send them out.
But when we woke up Sunday and you guys saw photos in the previous video, holy smokes.
Wow.
That was unbelievable.
And there's no plows, so they wouldn't have snow like this. So there's the road is like what it probably would have been in the 1890s in the States, where there's no plows, there's no. Anything.
Yeah, now they do have where they can move snow in Ireland, but they don't come up here.
But they're not coming up to the mountains, no.
No, so we were literally snowed in. Our car could not move.
Snowbound.
Completely snowbound. So it was kind of an adventure. But then the next day is when things got a little more interesting because Sunday, late morning, power went out.
Yeah.
So we talked about that in the last video, but we managed that just fine. And that evening, and we had posted the video that day, so that's kind of where we left off.
I don't think we've handled it exactly fine. We had no internet, and that was a eye-opener. Not to have internet, not to be able to charge our phones, I should say, that was tough. Go ahead.
Yeah, it is weird because we have found too so much of our life, revolves around the internet. So that's been kind of a little bit of a learning experience. And we didn't have internet. We didn't have phone coverage either. So even the mobile phone system was down. Everything was, we were completely isolated, which was pretty incredible. Because I don't think I've been that disconnected from the rest of the world in years now. So
or that connected in years. Go ahead.
It was not that bad, was it?
No, you weren't horrible, but thank God the house is big enough.
Well, we'll let you know what we did, and you guys can decide in the end if either of us maybe got on the other's nerves. On Sunday, that evening, we did go over to the neighbor's house.
We did. We had a really nice evening.
There's something about visiting people when there's no electricity, so it was all candlelight. Mm-hmm. That was beautiful.
That was beautiful, yeah.
And it's a multi-generational home, so there's, the grandmother's there, the mother, the father, and then they have 3 children. And the kids were wonderful because they didn't have any devices. They had no distractions. And so they just hung out with us. Yeah. And so there was a little bit of a sing-song.
We had a sing-song and...
Magic tricks. And just...
Tea.
Lots of tea. Yeah. And boy, she had that really good brack.
Yeah, the brack. And brack is... People don't know what brack is. Brack is...
It's a bread with fruit in it, like cherries and raisins and things like that.
Yeah, it's very good.
But it's a nice one. I actually like it better than Christmas cake.
Well, that'll be I'll argue that one, I think.
Well,
I like it both.
That's just my feeling.
Oh, and there was a glass of whiskey. Just pointing it out.
So... 1, 2, 3. I don't know. So we had a great visit then.
Yeah, we did.
Then, after that, the next day, Monday, though, everything was really closed. The roads were really bad on Monday. There was no getting out at all. No. And of course, at that moment, we had a neighbor who had a medical emergency, which was very nerve-wracking. Yeah. And I wouldn't say it was life and death emergency, but it was serious.
But it was serious. They had to get to the hospital.
Yeah. But there was really no way to get them there. Fortunately, though, neighbors came through. It was really exceptional to see how people were. One guy down the road, hats off to him, he took a blade on the back of his tractor and cleared the entire road backwards. And like this, I told this guy, like, he could get a job in Michigan clearing snow because our road was as good as any country road in Michigan after a storm like this. And I did kind of measure, we had at least 19 inches of snow. It could have been more. It definitely was not less. So 19 inches of snow now. In Michigan, we would get that.
Yeah. But the plows would be out at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, in Ireland, they don't get that. No. It's in fact, the last time they got that was the Beast from the East. I don't remember what year that was.
2018 maybe.
So everybody kind of keeps saying, like, that's once every 10 years we might get a storm like this. So
we're here for it.
So fortunately, road got cleared. And four-wheel drives and tractors were able to get up and down the road. So then someone was able to get her down to where the roads were more clear, because we're at a higher elevation, and it's amazing how once you get a little bit lower, the roads are much clearer. There's a lot less snow.
Yeah.
They got her in. Everything is fine. They're back home.
Yeah.
And
it was really nice. I mean, like you said, some of the neighbors cleared the road. My cousin brought us up coal and timber.
Bread and milk.
Bread and pizzas. A neighbor got us milk and bread. I'll tell you the one thing that is absolutely amazing to me is how tight the community is. Like everybody is out helping everybody. I mean, that just blows my mind. And I'd say it doesn't happen in the States either. It does, but like there's many people that don't know their neighbors on the right or the left. Here, way down the road, I know the neighbors. On either end, we know the neighbors, and you can stop in any time. It's really nice.
That's also the day that you had learned how to cook pizza on the fireplace.
Yeah. Well, not the fireplace, the stove.
Yeah.
The stove has what's called, here they call it a hob, so it's got a steel plate on top. And
so you can use it to boil water, fry eggs,
so we were able to, we were able to eat what we had. Like, I mean, the one day we had, the day before I had cooked duck, so I just heated the duck on the hob. And then another day I took a frozen pizza, and I put it in a fry pan, put the cover on it, and the pizza was great.
Turned out just fine.
Yeah,
so you can cook
duck and pizza
in the middle of a snowstorm on top of a stove.
Yeah, and a stove. When I say stove, we're not talking an American stove. We're talking like a wood stove.
Yeah. And then that night the power did come on. So we were without power for 30 hours or so. So it was, the hardest thing about not having power is not knowing when it's going to come back on. I think that's what, you don't know do I need to be prepared for this to be out for a week, or do I just have 3 hours?
Because it has been out for almost 2 weeks at times, Not when we've been here, but we've been told.
And more recently, like we used to have the power flicker and go out years ago, that was more of a problem. In recent years, that's a lot less.
Not as bad.
Yeah, it doesn't happen
but
that
still,
often.
it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we went 30 hours, but at that point, still, mobile phones here and internet, still no chance, no coverage at all.
I mean, I actually picked up a book. Now, I read 3 chapters, and then the internet came back on, and I'm back to but I will finish that book.
Now, I was able to walk, it was a good distance down the road, and I could sometimes get a signal, but it was the kind of signal where it took about 3 or 4 minutes just to send a text. So it was really kind of, but I was able to at least get word out to my family and friends and communicate a little bit so everybody knew we were okay. We were also able to send messages saying, like, we're fine, even to the people around here, like your cousin who just lives a little bit farther down the hill.
Yeah, a good bit down the hill, but he has a tractor, so that's how he was able to bring stuff up.
Yeah. Now, Tuesday, I decided that I was going to start shoveling out the driveway because I wanted to make it so that if the car needed to get out, we could do it. And when it cleared, I also didn't want everything to get iced up. So you were very generously came out and videoed that.
I did.
All right, let's check and see how Corey's doing on snow removal. I will never complain about Michigan county trucks removing snow ever again. It's been kind of an adventure. Only because, first of all, this is the only shovel I have. And you normally don't need a shovel, right? Here.
It doesn't really help at all. I kept trying, and then this shovel, the indestructible fiberglass shovel, couldn't even handle one snowfall. So, but I've got my technique down, I think. First I have to go through and break it up with my legs because the top part is a little bit more dense. And then I just kick it out of the way. It is, as a Michigander, person from Michigan, I am completely embarrassed by my effort here, only because, where we are, we always have to think, when we're removing snow, we're thinking like 2 months in advance. I'm just trying to get through today right now, so it's a mess. The car, it should be able, the road isn't too bad, but there's only been, tractors and like people with SUVs and Jeeps go through. I haven't seen any cars yet, but who knows. So this is quite a workout. And Liam, thank you so much for all your help.
Oh, you're welcome. My God, you're so welcome. Did I not get breakfast?
Oh,
I got it for myself, I guess. I didn't get it for you. Listen, we'll make that Russian Kraft dinner macaroni and cheese today.
Oh, could you have that waiting for me when I go in?
I'm going to have it right now.
As terrible as it sounds, it actually, I think it'd be very satisfying right now.
The directions you said are in Russian? I don't speak Russian. So.
It has instructions in like 9 languages, so you'll be fine.
All right, well, is one of them English?
Yeah, but the print's about, the size of a needle, so good luck.
All right, well, I'll let you know. I'll go in and make it right now for you.
Okay, I just made the Russian mac and cheese.
I think it's from the Netherlands.
Okay, Netherlands with instructions for 35 different countries. Welcome to the EU.
Okay, so this is what it looks like.
That's what it looks like cooked. But I want to point out that the noodles are just like the Kraft macaroni and cheese, but the noodles in my pan that were in the box are not the same. And also you'll notice, I don't know about you guys, but I really do miss the day glow orange color that we get in America. This looks like real cheese.
I think that food dye is like illegal in the EU. That's why they don't let us have it.
I know, but I like it. I really like how it tastes.
Okay, so go ahead. Let's serve it up and we'll give it a taste.
Here we go.
It actually looks like buttered noodles. It looks more orangey.
Well, it looks like it's like really, I mean, that color, that day glow orange is not in nature, but as a kid, that's what you...
Did you add some pepper to it?
A little pepper,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah, a little pepper.
I just want to make sure it wasn't part of the recipe.
No. Okay. All right, everybody, taste test.
Okay, first I'm going to look. It almost has a green tint to it, which is kind of interesting. It's a little green.
I miss the orange.
Do you
see the fire behind me? That's the color that this should be.
I want to let you know, too, Liam is like a connoisseur of artificially flavored neon orange cheeses. So...
It's very salty.
It's got a little bit of the tang, but then it's actually quite sweet.
It tastes saltier than the stuff we have. I mean, that stuff is salty, but...
No, you taste salt. I don't know. Well, it doesn't taste the same. Has a little bit of a sharpness to the cheddar.
It definitely has...
It's good.
Sharp cheddar. It's probably it's probably real cheddar.
It hits a couple of the buttons, but it does not satisfy the...
No.
It doesn't have that extra bit of artificial flavor.
Mm-hmm. And I think that...
That's not a good sign. You're not even going to eat it?
No.
What is this? It's like a spaghetti noodle.
Yeah, I know. That's why. And I didn't put it in there.
Okay, somebody got their noodles confused as well.
You enjoy that.
I don't know if I'll have this much, but it's okay.
It's not Kraft mac and cheese. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, we don't need... No, I mean, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, he didn't finish it. And every day we would visit different neighbors, so that was kind of nice. Mm-hmm. But so we did get some visiting in each day. Yeah. And then let's see, Wednesday became, well, actually Tuesday, but really on Wednesday we started deep cleaning. So we picked rooms. I was in one area, you were in another, and we just started really getting a deep clean on it.
Hands and knees, scrubbing floors and cobwebs. Geez, between the flies and the cobwebs after being gone for this long.
So the rooms that we have done are really in good shape. Yeah. So that feels a lot better because having been gone for so long, it did feel like things were out of control. Yeah. And then we did get invited up to neighbors for dinner. This would be during the lunchtime. And so we went up there. But on the way, I looked up and there were one of the neighbors' cows were in kind of a weird spot that I wouldn't normally think the cows would be. So I figured they were on the wrong side of the fence.
It wasn't just a cow. It was a cow and a bull. And I had an experience with a bull years ago, which maybe someday he'll tell you that story or maybe not. But so I'm not that comfortable being around, if I see a bull and I think it's outside the fence, I'm going to go 2 miles out of my way. Yeah.
And based on where these cattle were, there was no way I would be able to do anything anyway. It didn't matter. But we went to dinner, and on the way down, I noticed the cow, not the bull, was out in the road. And I get so nervous with cattle out in the road here just because, you just don't want that. And I knew whose cow it was, and I kept thinking, gosh, and she wanted to get back into the field, but I was like, so if I can get that gate open, I know she'll go up there. I grew up on a dairy farm, so I'm maybe not as nervous around the animals, but I also know...
I did not. I was what's called a townie. I came from the town.
And I also know that, the cow doesn't know me, so she's a little skittish around me. So I also knew she wasn't going to, warm up to me very quickly. But I was like, I could get her there or into the farmyard. They call it a haggard here. And so I was like trying to figure out, is it possible for me to get this cow off the road? I mean, I'm not responsible for it, but I kind of wanted to.
Yeah, we definitely, you don't want to turn a corner, although there's a tractor could turn a corner and see a cow coming.
At that moment, somebody was coming up. They had like a quad, they call it a quad bike here. And they were coming up, and it was perfect timing because they spooked the cow. The cow went into the farmyard, and I was able to just pull the gate shut. So easiest solution possible, and he was so grateful that did that, because we also, right after the snowstorm, we went into a deep freeze. It was consistently like 20 degrees, and that's really cold here in this part of Ireland, or actually in all of Ireland. We would be used to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, but here, I mean, they have a lot of exposed pipes, so a lot of our neighbors, their water went out or froze.
Or
their
wells,
pipes
they
froze.
have wells that freeze.
Yeah, especially people with wells. They definitely had pipes freeze. So, it was more complicated for those people. So it's a little different when your house isn't prepared for that kind of weather.
Right.
And it was extended period of time. So it wasn't just a one night thing. It was several days of cold weather. So that was Wednesday. We also did laundry that day. And we have a cool gadget. Tell them about the Sheila Maid. No, not tell them about the
Sheila Maid. Look that one up. You totally messed that one up.
Sheila Maid. Sheila Maid is a very different thing.
But look up Sheila Maid for sure. It's a Sheila Maid, and it's an old time thing that I absolutely love. It's a like a clothing rack that hangs up in the ceiling, and you lower it down, and you hang all your wet clothes onto the Sheila Maid, and then it's a pulley system, and you pull it up. And remember, you've got a stove there with fire going all the time, so the heat is rising up, and your clothes are dry within 45 minutes to an hour. You've got all dry clothes.
Yeah, the Sheila Maid is nice. Yeah. The Sheila Maid is a part of Irish history that's just interesting.
Look it up.
Maybe I'll give you a little tutorial on it. It's not that bad, but
it's not that bad, but it's not a Sheila Maid.
What else? And also, when we were going over to one of the neighbors, we had another neighbor. He had shoveled his entire driveway, he has a big driveway. Now it is paved, so he had that advantage, whereas we have gravel, so that made it difficult. But I was like floored by how much he had done. And when we said something like, we know what it's like to shovel snow, and he was shoveling snow. And of course, he said, well, I'm a bricklayer and I have a shovel all day.
Yeah, he's with the shovel all day.
So
but he was using a spade. Like, there was not like a proper snow shovel with a flat, it was a spade type shovel. That's a lot of different shoveling. And the snow is wet.
I have the utmost respect for him, because that was serious physical labor, and my back would not have been able to do what he did. He is younger than me, though, so.
Yeah. And thinner. Pointing that out.
Thanks. Now, on Thursday, we did go through, that day we stayed really close for the most part. Yeah. So we did a lot more cleaning, and we started hanging pictures, which was kind of fun to be able to put up these things that we've been thinking about doing, but we just never took the time. Yeah. And so, of course, hanging pictures is always a job in and of itself. Yeah, it's not like you can just put it's because it's not drywall. You're looking at stone and block and thick plaster. So you're drilling into, you need concrete, drills, cement drills or concrete drills to get in. So it's more work. It is, and you kind of you only want to drill once, so you don't want to be like tapping the nail in at home and you can pull it out, not quite like that. And then yesterday, and then that night I did go visit someone, but you weren't able to. Yeah. And then Friday was another cleaning day, but we were kind of setting up the day because there was a funeral that we needed to go to. Yeah. And we didn't know exactly how we were going to get there, but again, the neighbors kind of rallied. And let me tell you, this plan had changed several times over the course. I mean, the original emergency plan was someone had a utility vehicle. And they were going to put blankets down in the back, and 3 of us were going to have to lay in the utility vehicle in the back, and then 1 passenger up front. And when I say utility vehicle, I mean like a van. Like a small van, but it's a working van, so there's no seats. It's just to throw your equipment in. And we were trying to figure out how to do it, and I said, and we would have managed fine with that, but it would have been a 40-minute drive to the bouncing around in the back of the van on a blanket with. Yeah, and when I say funeral here, the entire process is called the funeral, but it was really more the wake part. Yeah, the wake part. Yeah, we were going to the wake part of it. So yeah, we would have done it. But fortunately, it ended up that another vehicle was got, and a group, we kind of carpooled in the vehicle. It worked out really quite well. Quite well. And it was our first time out, so we got to look at, our road was still pretty bad. And the road that attaches to ours, which is a semi-main road, was not good. But I swear, you get just over 1.5 miles away from our house. And the roads are clear, and you get 2 miles away and there's no snow at all practically. Just a little in the field and stuff. But up in the mountains here, it's just... Yeah, well, and part of it, we didn't get any thaw. Yesterday was the first day that it got above freezing, and so we did see a reduction in the snow. And today it's nice. It's like
today we're losing a lot of snow.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's still going to be
degrees.
here for a while. I think it's going to be here for a long time, but it's still quite nice.
Yeah, and then on the way back from the funeral, we were able to stop at it was more, okay, so it was called the Obama Plaza. Now here in Ireland, they definitely celebrate any connection. Like as soon as a new president is elected in the U.S., they're always looking for how they're connected to the Irish. And so, they have things for Ronald Reagan and Kennedy and a whole bunch of other
Anybody who has
presidents.
an Irish background.
Yeah, so they'll make those ties.
Yeah.
And then, so Barack Obama actually has basically a rest stop in his honor with a gas station.
His relatives came from a place called Montreal, and then just outside of Montreal is the Barack Obama Plaza, and there's bronze statues a statue in the front of Michelle and Barack, and there's a big old Cadillac on display in the front, American Cadillac.
And they have a little museum upstairs with other presidents with
Connections.
Irish ties and things. So if you are driving, say from, we'll say Dublin to Limerick, in Montreal, you can stop at the Barack Obama Plaza. Yeah. It's really more about the gas station and the restaurants.
It's a beautiful gas station and restaurant. I mean, it's really quite nice.
So, and they also have a little grocery store, a little shop, I should say. So we got the basics in there. So, so we got a couple more rations. So we're fine. So we did get off the mountain. It was in a 4-wheel drive vehicle. Yeah.
And I was with other people, which was really nice.
We've been visiting people the whole time. I gave you a break too. I left the house.
Listen, I'm blowing it out of proportion. It wasn't that bad.
You guys would hang out with. You know what? Maybe we can think about. Maybe some of you guys can come and join me over here because I think you might be a little bit more fun.
7 days. Think about it.
Yeah, so that is crazy. We have plans for tomorrow that we think we'll be able to get the car out.
Yeah,
it looks like it. And I think that's going to be really fun. I'm not going to give any spoilers though, because I think we're going to do something. I think interesting.
Oh, okay. I know what you're up to.
I hope so. Anyway, we'll see. Well, let's put it this way: change of scenery, like major change of scenery, will be nice.
Yeah, and it won't be a beach with palm trees, but it's a change of scenery.
Okay. I mean, this is kind of more like story time with Corey and Liam right now. But
story time with Corey and Liam. Yeah, and this is not tea. This is not tea.
Mine is. They're going to think you're a heavy drinker.
No, I'm not a heavy drinker. I don't. I just like whiskey once in a while.
He just obsesses about the whiskey all the time. You're going to hear him talk about it all the time.
I might mention it once or twice.
Yeah.
Or maybe I won't. But if you see a glass or a cup in front of me, guess.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll kind of keep you posted. I can't get out in the yard really at all. Oh, I will say though, Liam's hyacinths.
Oh, take a look, folks.
They're in full bloom. They're kind of drooping now, but because they're just so loaded with flowers. But the fragrance is perfect. They fill the room really nice, and it doesn't overpower. And I love the kind of stripy kind of pattern on them.
And they're only like €5 each. I'm getting more of them.
And that's kind of a lot for 1, 2, 3 bulbs, but you know what? They're beautiful.
Look I spend that on.
I hope we can plant them and maybe they'll come back. So yeah, you're right. If we bought cut flowers, although I will say we bought a $10 cut flower bouquet for New Year's, and we took that down with to bring with us.
Yeah,
that was a nice bouquet for 10 euros.
Yeah,
it had more than 10 stems, and I thought it was really nice.
Beautiful.
Tell me, for anybody who knows cut flower stuff, a €10, which would be
just not even $11.
Yeah, and
maybe
$11 bouquet.
Yeah, beautiful.
Wow, I thought it was fantastic. Yeah. So, okay, do we have anything else we want to tell?
I can't think of anything because there's a lot of work to do.
Okay, well,
you got shoveling and I got editing to do.
He doesn't even edit the videos. He just sits and looks at his photos.
I edit photos. Yeah. I'm more of a still photographer.
Okay, so can we do a little slideshow of some of these incredible photos?
You may.
Okay, here goes.